Testing? Okay. Cool. I'm just gonna start on... Oh. Start working on some of the interactivity for this tutorial stuff. A few more of the interactive parts of it. And then probably just PR my changes after that. Okay, so because I have code written for all the stuff listed here. Make that lowercase. Basically. And probably organize it some too. Since already saying this isn't used, this isn't used. This stuff looks pretty needed. For this class, OpenGL pipeline is basically done. Don't need to do anything major to that. The half screen triangle, to bring that up. Let me make sure that's all working. Check back here. Okay, let me try to run that. Oh, I opened this up twice. Okay, this is a good example of what's going on. I think this should probably have sliders to let you see what these coordinates are. I think that'd be really helpful. And making it really visceral. And probably the same thing with the projection matrix. Probably a slider to make it go back and forth between where it was and where you want it to be, and probably overlay a grid. So here I'm just gonna put needs interactive points, and that's it. I'm gonna say needs interact. I'll just say needs a slider. Needs grid lines. Model matrix, maybe I might end up having different ways you can change this transformation, but I think that can get really overwhelming. Yeah, possibly. I don't know. Probably have a few options or something like that. The view thing's totally done. I'm just gonna put something interactive. Now with those, I think that's plenty to get started doing stuff. So with this, I'm gonna try to add an updater or add GUI elements to edit these points. So let's go self.widgets.end. And I'm gonna want a slider 3 or slider float 3. Had some trouble doing this before. Let's try that again. Self.widgets. This will be just 0.1, something like that. And for a callback, I'll just call this slider callback as same thing. Okay, so I guess I can't just set user data like this. I feel like this... Hold on. Yeah, it has it right here. I feel like this documentation isn't the same thing that I'm using. Because, like, this doesn't have a float x function. Or I don't have a float x function. I'll try just calling it data. I think I did that before. Nope, same thing. Here's what I'll do. I'm gonna find the DearPyGI files. So run Python. Import this. Okay, this should be the file. I'm gonna look at this. Whoops. There. I think there's an example. Okay, does this have a data? Demo main callback. Surely one of these. It's just passing none. Callback. I felt like data equals. No, it's callback underscore data, I guess. Let me try that. Callback underscore data. Run this. Okay. Okay, this time lets me give back specialized data. Okay, I'll have to figure out what's going on with those versions later on. So with that, when this is called back, I can say this is an array. Mesh.attributes. I think I can just read it like this. Position. At 0 at 0. I think, because it's an array containing 3 things. No, so just at 0. Mp.array. Then I'm gonna want the point. Just this. It's gonna be my.array. That point plus 1. Okay, and I can see if this... Alright, so perfect. That allows you to move that point around. And it's 3D space, so that's perfect. Let me change this from 0.1. I'll just have a 0 here. Then hopefully I can just put a data here. Great, and it has the same effect. Okay. Then I'm just gonna add the rest of these. Actually, should be able to do this a little bit. I'll just do it this way for now. Oh, yeah, I'll just append all of these separately. Like so, and then I'm gonna want 0.1, 0.2, then 3. I'll just make the 0, 1, 2. Okay. Edit that. Edit that. And edit this in XY space. Great. It'd be kind of nice to have an indicator of which point is which. Okay, but for now, let me do this with a for loop. Stuff that will just append. It's gonna have a name. It's an F string. Like this. And this will be I as well. Great. Then I'm gonna set these default values. If I can spell default. And I think this has to be a list, so I'm just gonna set it to mesh.attributes at position indexed at whatever I is. Hopefully that'll... Oh, it seems to work. Great, now when I move this, they're starting out at the places where they already are. Well, that was easy. And that does pretty much everything I want. Maybe I'll just add a label for which point is which. Maybe call this P0, P1, P2, and have dots there. I can have labels. Dot. We do for point in attributes at position. I'll move to point only the first 3. And or actually this won't be enough, it'll have to be a group. So I'll just take this out now. Now what I want is labels is gonna be an empty list, and I want this to be OpenGL dot. It's gonna end up being a V group. Move to point index at 3. I'm gonna add it to. Like so. They're all the same place. Why? Interesting. That move to point. Let me print this. The first 3 indices of point. Yeah, that looks right. Although now that I think of it... Oh, this is in the middle of the screen. These are in Manim coordinates. That makes sense. So I'm gonna have to convert this to normalized device coordinates, I guess? So I'll be in the C location. And how will I do that? You want NumPy array. Actually, can you divide element-wise in this? R equals 1, 2, 3. Or 2. Aqua beam, what's going on? Oh, I fixed the lighting bug. It was incredibly annoying. Okay, so it looks like this is element-wise. Yeah. So I'm gonna want to do point divided by multi.array config at frame x radius. What's the problem? So it was 3 problems actually. No, not 3. 2 problems. So one was that when I was positioning the light, it turns out you don't need the position relative to the camera. You need the position of the light within the camera's coordinate space. And so I was just doing, at first, like the light position minus the camera position. But what I needed to do was, where is it? Here, multiply by the view matrix to move it into the camera's coordinate space. So that was one thing, and that still didn't fix it. Then the next thing was that the normal matrix, at least for 3JS shaders, also needs to be transformed by the view matrix, which kind of makes sense. Well, it makes sense if the light position is passed in camera space coordinates. It makes sense that the normals also have to be passed in camera space coordinates. So I did both of those, and now it works. I'm gonna have to pass another 1 here, because this point is homogeneous. And that still didn't work. Why? Point divided by... This is 4 things. Cannot be broadcast together with shapes 4 and 3. Oh, it's a different part. Shift. I think it tries to move to this. Okay, so NTC location. Did you say there would be... Oh, I misspoke that time. Yeah, it's only 2. The third one was me being really frustrated with it and wanting to break something. But no, it's only 2. Oh, this isn't divided. This should be times. Although I still don't see them. Move to NDC location. I'm gonna print. Trial and error, or 3JS have the answer? 3JS unfortunately had the answer. Because that meant I had to like step through. I don't have the website open anymore. I had to write a 3JS program and then step through that program's logic. I was doing it for a little while you were watching. But basically I had to do that more. Okay, so now my question is, why are these dots not even appearing? Oh, I know why these aren't appearing. They're off the screen. And they're off the screen because in 3D space, Manim coordinates aren't 1-to-1. Okay, that makes me actually not want to do this, because this will require ray tracing. So instead I just won't have labels. And after all, this still does a pretty good job of telling you how this positions points. Maybe I'll do ray tracing one day if I care enough, but that's actually plenty. It's now interactive. For the projection matrix thing, let's go to that next. Here. Never knew they weren't 1-to-1 in 3D. You can make them. And I think actually, I have an idea. Let's go, where was that? Model something? Projection. Oh, this is an orthographic. How do I... Okay, so here's what the idea was. The camera, by default, is what's called a perspective camera, which means it isn't orthographic, which means basically parallel lines going away from you won't be parallel. They'll look like... Parallel lines will look like this. They'll go toward the horizon. But it should be possible to replace this with an orthographic camera. Which doesn't do this. So parallel lines will just look like this. It isn't actually the way you see 3D. So I'll try doing... Orthographic equals true? I think that's all I have to do. And self.camera equals that. Not sure if that'll work. Well, it didn't crash. Can't set attribute. Hold on. Oh, this isn't even where I wanted to do that. Hold on, let's go back. Okay, here's where I had the labels. This is where I want to replace that camera. I'll place it in the renderer. And it did work. Now you can see the bits of the dots at the corners. Because I switched it to an orthographic. And the orthographic camera doesn't have a frustum. Well, I guess it technically does. But the frustum doesn't look like this. Instead, how do I clear this? It doesn't look like this emanating from the camera. Instead, it looks like this. It's a box. And so there's no space distortion. And so there's still technically ray casting, but the ray casting is like that. They're literally just straight lines instead of this. And so you don't have to do any computation. Anyway, now self.add label. Now I think I can do this. If I can spell labels correctly. Great, because this is on top. So is it just objectively better, or is there a drawback? It depends on what you want. The thing with orthographic projection is it isn't 3D. So usually if you're using OpenGL, you'll be looking for something that looks 3D. But sometimes you don't want that perspective look. Okay. For example, if I did this in the view thing, let's see. So here's a stationary camera. I'm gonna pass orthographic equals true. The stationary one. And it looks like this. Now this looks super weird. Wait. Okay, so wait, what the? Okay, so this looks super weird, but what's happening is that parallel lines are parallel on my screen, I think. Let me get something straight. Yeah, parallel lines are parallel on my screen. And so it looks terrible. You can tell that this isn't actual 3D. Because our eyes perceive things being parallel when the lines aren't parallel. Oh my gosh, it's still like that. Wait. Gonna show what it looked like before, yeah. And this is what it looked like before. Now it almost looks wrong both ways, now that I've seen it the other way. It tainted my consciousness. That would actually be an interesting thing to put in the lesson, I think. But yeah, these are obviously not parallel. They're going toward the horizon. Hey, Daryl Golden, what's going on? Okay, I'm gonna do it one more time. Just to be sure. Switch this back to orthographic. I think I have to restart it. Yeah, like this is obviously wrong. Obviously. Okay. That was fun. Gonna go back to this. I think I have to add updaters to this to move those points. Yeah. You can actually read up on this if you wanted to. This is orthographic projection, and there should be one on perspective. I think. Anyway, actually the best thing to look at would be like this. Yeah, this goes over both of them. I'll probably end up linking this when I do the lesson too. Anyway, okay. Labels. Got a pinned label. So now all three of them are added. Then here I can... I'm gonna want to update on each of the labels. So... I want like label.add updater. Lambda on mob. It's gonna like update label. And I'll pass in I. And this. Wait, how will this work? Labels index.index. Move to wherever the attribute is. I should blah 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 at index. Let's see if that works. Oh, there's a decent chance that wouldn't. Oh, and I have point here. Let's do that. And it still didn't work. Oh, because it didn't... Maybe this. Something about the orders. Okay, so this is a homogeneous point, so I have to do only the first three. Close. Oh, but it's not updating it. Why? Mesh.attributes at index.position, index.index. I wonder if it's even being called. It is being called. Why isn't it updating then? Labels at index. Labels are filled with these OpenGL dots. I mean, this is being updated all the time. This must be something with closures. Like one of these is forming a closure around its own copy of the variable. Okay, so I'm just gonna print this. I'm only gonna do this for the first one. Blake 4096. How are ya? We're just struggling with some Python. The usual. Okay, I'm just gonna print this. This should Oh, only one of them? Okay, so that one of them is updating. Needs to be scaled. Label to add updater. Oh, that's annoying. This I is being updated in the loop. No, I actually have no idea what this is doing. Here's what I'm just going to do. Wait, labels at index. This I has to be getting updated on each iteration, so I have to add a copy of the I. I'm gonna try to figure it out. I'm just gonna do another loop. Maybe one day I'll be good at Python. Destroy my 4-year-old 4K monitor when upgrading my RAM. Damn it! That sucks. The replacement comes Friday. Gotcha. I used to code on a 4K TV. It wasn't a monitor. It lived a good life. Yeah, 4 years old. 4 years old is pretty reasonable for a monitor. And also, luckily, monitors are getting cheaper and cheaper these days. It's really insane. I actually don't know if this will work either. Yeah, it doesn't. How do I make a copy of this? Okay, let's go back. I think I have to do like def closure, and this function will do this, and maybe this takes an I. I have to overwrite this. This might do it. And it does. I don't really want to think about why this worked, but doing this outside of a function didn't. Just do everything on the laptop and feel like I really need a monitor. Yeah, using a monitor, especially a kind of big one, which I have, makes a huge difference. I wonder if I can just do lambda on I, able to add update or whatever. What if I can just do this and then call it immediately? Guess not. Do I have to do this or something? Okay, I'm actually glad that didn't work because that looks super janky. But I used to code on a 4K television. It was a television. And it was actually really nice. The only reason I stopped is because, one, it took up a lot of space on my desk, and two, the frame rate was capped at 60, which wasn't as nice for playing video games. So yeah, I'm now using a 2K monitor, which I think I actually like more. Okay, so I'm gonna do this same thing. And this is the point. My point multiply by that, move to priorities. Indeed. What crashed? Oh. So, I mean, you can see when the screen is bigger, it's easier to see when the frame rate is lower, so it makes the experience less good. I don't know. You're gonna have to put the like LaTeX labels there too now. Okay. It shouldn't be called labels. It should be called points or something. No, not points. It should be called dots. Great. Then the labels will be LaTeX. So I'm doing dot append label. I'm adding it. Then I'm doing the closure, then I'm adding it. This should be dot. I say label equals ngl text or tech map to key, and then key subscript I it's going to be next to dot, say a plus right or something. Okay, so it should only be visible in this corner, even if this does work. But let's try that. Great, and so this one is here. The other ones will be off the screen, and I'm not updating it, so it's fixed there. So now, here in this update label, do labels at index next to dots at index. I do the same thing. And I broke something? Oh, because I didn't append. And it still didn't work? The next two dots at index. Why would that happen? Oh, I think I see why this would happen. Because this is going to be called here, and this is before it was appended here. Maybe... Can I do this here then? That was some kind of janky code, but you know, if it works, I guess. I've been more and more just getting used to the screen being bigger. So I'm thinking about making it bigger by default. Okay, and this gives you a really easy way to see that it's from -1 to 1. When you go past 1, it starts going off the screen. Cool. I could make it so that those points were always on the screen, but actually, how hard would that be? For P0, you want it to be that way. For P1, to adjust the defaults, I think I already pulled on top of that one. And then I think I changed something else about it so that it worked the way it did before. But I think it is flag configurable. What I basically want to do is the offset vector should rotate 90 degrees clockwise for each one. So maybe do this. Oh wait. Wait, there's no need to be fancy here. Wait, maybe there is. Offsets. I'll put offset equals. No, there's really not. Up plus right. Down plus right. And down plus left. That's all. Then here. Offsets at I. Here. Where is it? Well, something went wrong. It did it again. All of them are down plus left. Am I overwriting the offsets array somewhere? Next to dot, offsets at I. Then I add this closure. And I run that. It's gonna move it to there. Labels at index. Next to... How is this? Oh, this would be index. Why didn't that crash? Who knows what that was forming a closure over? Okay, great. Okay, I think that's everything I want to do with that. This code for just adding labels ended up being quite a lot. Okay. Great. So that's basically done. Projection, a slider, and grid lines. Okay. Yeah, and this should probably have some interactive element. It's pretty simple the way it is right now. Oh, so there are two meshes. That's interesting. There's an untransformed mesh. There's a transformed mesh. And then there's a mesh. And it's interpolating between those points by a sinusoid. Okay. So let me just... Widgets append. I get another slider. Something like this. I don't know, I'll just call this scale. I'll just call that slider callback. Just print that. The value should be from 0 to 1. Don't need data. Make this like half by default. No, I should make it like 0 by default. Okay. So that worked. And I switched to the wrong window. That worked. Now, what I'm gonna want to do is update this within here. So this is interpolating. Okay, so it's just start, end. The T is gonna be this. Hold on. Now I'll replace this V. And that's it. Then I won't do this update mesh. Great, and it's becoming more and more projectionified. So now what I'm gonna want to do, what would be kind of neat if you could like press spacebar and switch between them like that. But I'm not gonna do that, at least not right now. I'll just keep this commented. But I do want to add grid lines. The way I did here. This should really be a utility thing to just add the grid lines. For now, just paste that in here. And it doesn't match exactly. Oh, well. Wait, is this... Am I using an ortho or a perspective camera again? I am. Okay, so I'm gonna replace the camera. Great, then it's perfect. You can see what this does. This grid would be something really nice to toggle though. So firstly, you can see the effect in terms of, you know, how it, wait, not that. How it places the coordinates in this sense. And then you'll be able to see how that lines up with the projection matrix. Makes it lines up perfectly with your Manim coordinates. So firstly, this should be a utility function. Let's click here. There's a get axes, but I think it's old. I think it's just this. Darn. There. And then all the self.grid sizes can be replaced. With this. And then you just return this grid. You can use a V-grid with squared and arrange in grid to create the grid more easily. What is arrange in grid? Number rows, number columns, buff. Yeah, I guess I could. Well, there is a problem with the fill shaders right now, where you can't see regular meshes through the fill shaders. And I think if I arranged squares instead of lines, it would run into that problem. But other than that, there's no reason I can't do that. Here. I feel like it should be something. I might not say that or something. Great, so this does the same thing. The first place I noticed it, you can't reset the camera if you... Okay. You can't switch between camera types without... Oh, I did it again. Without closing Manim down for some reason. But... Wait, where's the GUI? It's just not appearing now. Weird. I guess it's not needed. But anyway, if you try to look at this triangle through this button, no, it disappears. And I don't know why. But anyway, that happens. I had to figure out why the GUI isn't appearing on this one. Not that I really need it, but it's weird that it doesn't. Isn't this just interactive embed? Yeah. Because the fill is black. I think the fill opacity is 0. Oh no, it couldn't be. Yeah, it had no. Yeah, because you could see the grid lines through it. I think. You can see the grid lines, but you can't see the rectangle, the triangle. Okay, so let's try to add a something a button press. Set key function. I'm just gonna do the same thing that was done here. Set key function is gonna be show or toggle. Toggle grid lines in this. So do self.remove the grid. It's gonna be like if grid and self.mobjects. Not totally sure if this check will work. And that's the wrong scene. It has no attribute subobjects. Yeah, it's just mobjects for the scene. Great. So now you can see what the projection matrix does, and then why you would want to do that since it aligns with Manim's coordinates. Let me make this a little wider though. It should take 2 numbers. With a Y size. Okay. I want this to be 7 by 5 or so. Oh yeah, I would have to restart after that. Interesting. Why am I so bad at programming? Okay, so the length and the X grid lines for iron range. This is adding the vertical ones. This is the vertical and this is the horizontal ones. This is going from, that's right. Wait, this is working, the X part. It's the Y part that isn't working, I think. I'm adding the horizontal. Wait. This should be Y size. That's how far up and down you have to go. And this is Y size. This should be X size. Great. Great, so now you can toggle that grid. And you can see how it lines up perfectly. Thanks. And I think I'll have it not added by default. So you can slide this across. Okay, cool. I think that's everything I want with that one. Besides both of those, the model matrix. Here, I'm kind of unsure. I know I want something interactive here, but it's not totally clear what it should even be. I guess I could toggle rotation around the y-axis and the x-axis. But if I did a full... Like, there are a lot of things you could potentially configure here. Because there's the translation, rotation, and the scale factors. And this has 3 components, and this has 3 components, and this has 3 components, technically. And I don't think 9 sliders would be that helpful here. Maybe for just the translation. Actually, maybe this wouldn't be so bad. The scale can just be 1. And then this could be a single slider with 3 entries, and this could be a slider with 3 entries. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm going in. Update mesh. It's just multiplying by the Y rotation matrix. So start. I get a slider 3 or slider float 3. Please. And this will be for the translation. This will be for translation callback, and this will go from, say, -10 to 10. Maybe these chords. This. And the translation matrix I want is just this. And I think I just want star chords. I can... I think I have to have the translation, rotation, and scale matrices separate. Guess I have this none by default? Or the identity? What I want to do is update this translation matrix. No, I don't have to update it. Just kidding, yes I do. Get the chords here, update that translation matrix. Then I want to recompute the model matrix that I'm passing into this shader. And this is going to be scale matrix first. Wait, what's the order? I want to new. Let's call this model matrix. Now I'll just scale it first. And then rotate it, I guess. Then translate it. Then I'll update that in the shader, and that should do it. It was kind of a lot to do at once. Let me not add this updater. And it is not updating anything. So that's great. And this model matrix. It is updating. And mesh.shader.shader program index.model equals this. Weird. RGL.y rotation matrix. Seems like that should work. Then I add the mesh and I interactive embed. Don't know why this wouldn't change it. I wonder if so I was setting it to this. Let me go back to this using this updater. So here it's rotating. Just taking a matrix, then doing .t.ravel. Taking tuple of that and writing it here. Non-local translation matrix. That should be updating it. I wonder if I can change this now. Still nothing. Translation callback. I have no idea. No idea why this would not update it, but this would. So it has a uniform here. That's where I set it initially. It was an identity. Pass in these vertices. Then I just multiply these. Wonder what happens if I just put in what I put here. I just put this at like it's 1, something like that. Still no effect. Maybe this can only be done with updaters. Okay, let me try this. I guess that would kind of make sense. Because this callback is being called outside of the render loop, but this one isn't. So I'm gonna try moving this up. And here, chords equals whatever. I'll just update the translation matrix like this. Yeah. But I won't set it. And then within this, I'll compute the model matrix and pass that in. Model matrix.t. I won't try to set it here. Great. I didn't know this was from -10 to 10. Great, so that wasn't so bad. Get rid of the T. Add update or update mesh. Still need that. Should add this here. So now I want to do this for rotation. I'll try that next. Same thing. Then this rotation callback. Hold on. Maybe I can do this with only one. Name translation. No, just kidding. I don't think I can do that. Could I? I might be able to have the same call. No, I won't try to do that. No reason to complicate this. I'll do the rotation matrix, do this. And this will be rotation matrix, and this will be XYZ. And this should go from, I guess, negative pi to pi. Okay, let's see if that works. Great. I should be able to combine these. Cool. Then from there, the scale one should be pretty straightforward. This only needs one. Don't really need to do multi-dimensional scaling, although it wouldn't be hard, but I don't have a function written to do a scale matrix in a single dimension. So I won't try to do that now. And scale matrix this, slider float scale callback. Okay. And that was a weird default. Let's make sure that's set to 1. Okay, so now you can scale it and do your rotations. Cool. I think that illustrates model matrices pretty well. So then it goes straight to the view visualization, which has plenty to talk about. But it has the different camera for some reason. Can't swap out cameras with it. Oh, and this one also won't start the GUI for some reason. Oh, I have to do enable GUI. I was testing a version that didn't have the GUI before. Okay. So this is a great example, a great illustration of what the view matrix does. Also, since I fixed that lighting bug, the camera is consistently illuminated as if the light source is like up here. I should just add an indicator for the light. Although it's not really part of what's being illustrated here. There's that. I think I should probably have something to illustrate the hierarchical nature of them. Okay, so that did that. That's done. Attributes, bearings, and uniforms. Maybe? Actually, where should I do the barycentric thing? I think I should do this. Then this. Then the barycentric interpolation. So let me rename this. Oh, I called it varying. Okay, then I'll probably do this, since up to that point I hadn't been doing anything with color other than just red. So I could talk some about this. And then it might be nice to see the view visualization, but with a colored, with the rainbow triangle from that other thing. And then that would demonstrate all three ways of passing data to shaders, since it would have uniforms, it would have attributes, and it would have varyings that are passed from the vertex shader to the fragment shader. And I don't think that'd be a ton of work. Basically everything involving this scene is kind of a ton of work, though. In the meantime, to demonstrate the hierarchical nature of it, I should have one example with using model matrices in a hierarchy. I don't think that'd be super difficult. What's the order of these? Pipeline, half stream, projection. Pipeline, half screen. This should be number 3. So there's a projection. This rotating triangle, I don't really need. Projection, then the model matrix, then the view matrix. The massive view matrix code. It's projection. At the end of that, then model, then view. Model, then view, then the interpolation. And these I haven't necessarily written yet, but they won't be, they'll be pretty much the same thing. ones are right above this one. Great. Okay, so there are a few ways I could potentially illustrate what hierarchical model matrices do. I think a pretty simple example would be like a solar system or something. It's just something really simple. I can't even restart this. With like a sun and then a few different planets. And these could all be rotating independently, and this could have a moon that's also rotating independently. It's just show that they all, and like do all of this transformation with model matrices. I guess that shouldn't be too hard. If I can manage to use the code to take 3JS shapes, which I should be able to. Let's just try this. Sphere geometry, fog material. I'm gonna need a light. And the light should be the sun itself. I don't know if I can put a light inside of the sun, can I? 555. Color blue, that's fine. Let's do that. Okay. Okay, cool. Well, is that how you spell that word? Hierarchical. What did I spell wrong? Hierarchical. Oh, here it has, it's the I and the E. Darn. Okay, anyway, it starts with an E. Or with the I. Great, that can be a sun. Except that it isn't illuminated. Because the light is inside of it. So if I move that, then that'll be illuminated. I'm not sure of a way to make light emanate from the sun. Maybe it won't matter. Maybe what I want to do. Can I just color this white? Put the light back inside of it. Oh. Has no diffuse field. And that's true. Wait. Hierarch. Is that lighting bug unique to Manim CE or also in Manim GL? Manim GL doesn't have lighting, or doesn't have lighting in the way that Manim CE... Actually, Manim CE doesn't have lighting either. I guess I don't know how long ago you wrote this. But all of this lighting logic is taken from 3JS, and I never merged it. It's basically all here. Well, and some edited 3JS code. But what I'm seeing here isn't due to that bug. What I'm seeing here is just because I want light to come from the sun. But if I put the light inside of the sun, I think it'll block the light from reaching the other planets. I think. Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, let me add an Earth or something. Maybe I just won't add the sun at first. Well, I don't see it. Oh, it's in the same place. Let's just move x equals 3. Okay, it can still illuminate it when it's outside of it. The question would be, how do I illuminate the sun if the light is inside of it? Is this a... light coming out of a lamp model? Light emitting objects. The effect material that emissive and a point light. Like an actual 3D emission from an object. That'd be super hard, probably. Bloom. It's material that emissive. Emissive. Light color the material. A solid color unaffected by other lighting. Okay. This is only a mesh standard material, though. I wonder if I can use standard materials? Let's hope. I guess so. Okay, let me see. It's just passing this config here. Where did I... There's a file where I set all of the variables that are used in 3JS materials. .3js material. Here. Diffuse emissive roughness. Oh, that's what emissive does. I was wondering what this did. So maybe this means if I set not the diffuse but the emissive value. Perfect. Then it lights the outside of it. And the diffuse value, if I understand correctly, is for the color of light that gets reflected. So if I wanted this to be blue, well, that's not the color of Earth, really. But great, that's what I wanted to do. Cool. So now all I have to do... hopefully, I can add the Earth to the Sun. Less blocky. Yeah. I think. Radius. I think I just changed the width segments and height segments. So 8 and 6. So I'll just double that. Double that. And there, it's less blocking. There should actually be a way to use the exact same geometry between the two of these. But I don't really know how, so I won't try to do that. Okay, so let me try to do sun.add earth. I think this should work. And now update sun. It should just be sun.add updater, right? Let's just try that. And that's not how that works. Okay, so that's working. And I think I can do sun. I have to be careful to handle the normal matrices too. So let me do WinGL. I can just do Z rotation matrix. Z equals O.01 times this. I'll do that. That's not so hard. Okay, so let me move this earth further away. Then I'll make it smaller. And I want to scale it first and then translate it. And then a moon. Yeah. Next to use to work with meshes. The thing is, so much of what I'm doing is the same stuff over and over again. There's no reason this line, there's no reason rotating around the z-axis by 0.01 should be this long. It should be like sun.rotate z equals. That should be like, and it should just handle the normal matrix, because you'll never want to rotate the model matrix without the normal matrix anyway. As for these, that's kind of tedious, but it's not so bad. A lot of this could be cleaned up if this wasn't just a dictionary. If it was an object, then you could get auto-completion, which would make that a lot nicer. But all of these dealings with model matrices, there will eventually be infrastructure to do that more easily. Just not yet. Indeed. Okay. Yeah, like this, for example. I'm going to want the moon to be... Hold on, don't do the sun thing. I'm gonna want the moon to be probably to the right of the Earth at the start. But if I don't want to copy this variable, and I can't like get center, there's no get center yet, so I have to do... I can just do the moon.model matrix equals the earth.model matrix. That copy. So I should move it exactly on top of the Earth, and it's not there? Is it there? Oh, it is. Wait, what? Oh, because it's added to the Earth. And so this is happening twice. It's doing this scale and this translation with respect to the Earth's coordinate system. Which isn't what I want, actually. Or maybe that's what I want. But I don't want this to be a copy of the Earth model. I'm just gonna do this manually. I was actually not thinking of this the way I should have been. All of these transformations will happen relative to the Earth. Why is this translating so far? Oh, this is still Earth. There we go. So now, maybe I can update the Earth. To do the same thing that the sun is doing. And actually replace these variables. And it still didn't work. Why? Earth.add update or update Earth. I did Earth.add moon. Did sun.add Earth, then Earth.add moon. Darn, I was hoping this would just do what it's supposed to do. What if I increase the speed? Could it be the case that... Why is increasing this? Why is this making it orbit the sun faster? Earth.add update or update Earth. Earth.model matrix. It's as if the Earth is sharing a model matrix with the sun or something like that. Okay, I'm gonna try a different thing to the Earth's changes. Well, actually, for one thing. If I don't update the Earth at all, then this happens. Now the Earth is added to the Sun, and it's translated and scaled down. Let me add a different updater to the Earth. I'm going to add an updater that translates the Earth. Is it translating? Yeah, it's moving higher relative to the Sun. I think. So that's what I expect. So I'm updating the Earth, and that's moving it relative to the Sun. So maybe what I actually want to do is update the Moon. Am I just thinking about this wrong? And update Moon. Here I did an update on the Sun to affect the Earth. The update on the Sun affects the Earth, so now it should be updating the Earth should affect the Moon. Oh well, I'm gonna see what this does. I think it won't do anything. But I'll see just to check. And it's actually doing what it's supposed to do. Why? Now I'm confused. I'm rotating the sun. Wait, hold on. First of all, I'm tired of zooming this out. Whatever. If I rotate faster around the sun... Okay, let me rotate really fast around the sun. And then this one, I'll make really slow. When I update the sun's model matrix, that affects the Earth and indirectly the moon. Why does updating the Earth add moon? I don't know if I'm just being bad at math. Sun dot add Earth, and Earth dot add moon. I don't know why this is like this. The Earth's model matrix. Oh, maybe... Wait, what was I doing before? Maybe this does make sense. Maybe what I'd have to do is translate the Earth and then rotate it to rotate it in place. Because if I... Okay. I think what was happening... Update. I'm just going to replace all of this with Earth. And it looks like nothing is happening. But if I didn't update the Earth, I didn't rotate the Earth, then what happens? Well, also nothing. So now I'm actually confused again. But I was close to not being confused, so that's something. Oh, Cenobite offsec. What's up? Earth.add the moon. I'm multiplying. What is the Earth's model matrix? It's a scale and then a translation. Scale, then a translation, and then a rotation. Maybe this is a bug or something. I have no idea why this is happening. What I think should be happening is the sun has its own coordinate space. And that coordinate space, after I update it, starts rotating like this. And the Earth is part of that coordinate space, but it also has its own coordinate space. And so when the sun rotates, the Earth will naturally rotate just because it's part of this same coordinate space. But when I rotate the Earth and the moon is added to the Earth's coordinate space, the moon should rotate around the Earth just from rotating the Earth's coordinate space. I don't know why rotating the moon's coordinate space would do anything. I guess if the moon... Because of the axis rotation, when you rotate the Earth, its rotation is about the sun's center. How come that doesn't happen when I rotate the moon, though? Am I looking at this wrong? You have to rotate the Earth about the Earth's center. Okay. Then it's the question of how would I rotate the Earth about the Earth's center? Oh! Maybe what I have to do here is translate this to the origin, rotate it, and then translate it back. Gotcha. Moon.model matrix. Okay, within the Earth's coordinate space, there should be a fixed rotation of this x equals 5. So let me... This got loud all of a sudden. Chill out. Oh, I can't really just put a negative sign here. If the sun equals this, sun to earth, +5, and both of these I have to sandwich these. So take the earth to the sun, then rotate it, then bring this from the sun to the earth. Wait, earth to the sun, this. Like that. And the same thing with a normal matrix. Is it expanding? Now I don't know what it's doing. Earth to sun. Change the speed. Hold on, I'm gonna stop the earth update, or the sun updating. Okay, so there must be some other bug since it's like moving weirdly. Oh, these are in the wrong order. This is the earth to sun. You take the, this is the points, you take the earth to the sun, then you do this. Let's try that. Earth to sun, then this, then sun to earth. Okay, there we go. So now, if I update the sun, great, now it's working. But this should be slower, I think. Why is it booking it around the sun? Let's do this. Okay, I think that looks about as good as it's gonna look. Anyway, thanks for that. So the takeaway. So what was I doing wrong here? So I wasn't. So when I was rotating the Earth, I wasn't rotating it about here. I guess any rotations within a given coordinate space are going to happen relative to that coordinate space's origin. So I must have been rotating it around like that. And so that's why I have to do the translation thing. And the reason I didn't have to do that for the sun is that the sun is sitting on the origin. Oh yeah, and that would happen for scales too, because if I try to scale the Earth, it would scale the Earth out that way. Okay. Alright, cool. I've done it. Well, that's a pretty good illustration, I would say. Let me make this more yellow. FF, so 110 basically. I guess the diffuse. Oh wait, the light itself should be yellow, which isn't happening for some reason. There we go. Now it's really yellow. That's weird. Oh, I think this is always done in a ratio. So would I have to do like... I guess that's slowly turning it more yellow. Anyways. Great. It would be kind of more clear if I could plot the circles here permanently and the circle around the Earth permanently. But my tools to plot lines aren't that good. The shaders and stuff for it. So I won't deal with that right now. I'm gonna up these. I'm gonna make it smoother. Let's make this 16. But more than I think about it, maybe I should actually plot those circles. But it would be kind of annoying to do it in a variable way. What I'd really want to do is like show the coordinates or show the axes of each of these. So you could see the sun's coordinate space rotating. And you could see the Earth's coordinate space rotating too. But that'd be way too much work, so I think this is actually good for now. Wait. That wasn't so hard. After seeing how this works, it'd be a lot easier to understand the logic behind making this work, since it's a lot of the same stuff. A full screen fragment shader example should be pretty simple. This, I think I'll probably just do the same scene, but do it with a colored rectangle from here. That's interesting. I'll do it with this colored rectangle. I don't really need to do that now. As for rendering geometries and the lighting and stuff, I think it'd be really cool to render the shortened form of the Manim logo. This in 3D. Because most of it wouldn't even be hard. It would just be a sphere, a cube, and like a circular pyramid or cone. Or a square pyramid if I want to do that. And for the M, this has a concept of an extrude geometry, which essentially lets you take any shape and extrude it like this. So if I could pass the shape for the whatever the typeface, the M, and get that in 3D, that would be the only hard part. So that'd be pretty cool. I don't think I'll do it now though. This doesn't look super hard though. Length, width. 0, 0, line 2, line 2, line 2. Maybe I can do this. Oh, I was supposed to PR stuff. Guess that isn't happening. For the second time in a row. So what I would have to do is just add another function like this one, and the geometry. When I call the function, I'll have to pass in commands to make the shape. I'll be like, move to, line 2, line 2, line 2. Except since they all come from Manim, they'll all be quadratic curves. So, hold on. Torus nut geometry, box geometry, cylinder geometry, cone geometry, circle geometry, serialized geometry. Let me just try to do the same one from that website. I haven't added one of these in a long time. I hope this is even right. Let's see, extrude geometry. Great. I'll just copy this stuff. If I can find where... Okay, so you just create the geometry first. Wait, is that what that did? Length, shape, extrude settings, then this is the geometry. I forgot that I could do wireframes with this. What is with the spacing? Okay, so that should have the ability to serialize the geometry. Then there should be a proto file. Let me just write out the request and the response here. You use Bezier curve 2 instead of line 2? Yeah, that's what I'll have to do. Plane geometry request and response. Right now I'm just trying to just get the one, get basically this shape. Which is actually kind of a large shape. 12 by 8 is like the entire Manim screen. This doesn't need basically anything. I'll just have the wireframe here. Are these using serialized geometry? Response. Serialized geometry. What do these return? Oh, they must be using... There are separate responses for all of these geometries, even though they're returning the same stuff, but whatever. Okay. So I think that's everything I need to update there. On the JavaScript side. So I'll copy that proto file. To 3js.proto, I guess. Go into Python. Wonder why this is taking so long. Where's the... I think I have to run scripts. Let's update protos. Okay. And now... geometry.py, not here. Is that it? Now will it just work? This is what happens when you don't use your code in a really long time. So I'm gonna want to do this, get the remesh. Let me add this. So right now it's the sphere still. Let me just add the lights. Just to make sure everything's... just to make sure nothing's broken right off the bat. And something was, I guess. Oh. Okay, so that's just that. Let's move this to 555 or something. Great. So I'm going to change this. And here comes the errors. Geometry service stuff has no attribute extrude geometry. So I thought that would be geometry service stub. Where did that happen? Tutorial utils 20. Here. I thought that would change when I rebuilt the proto files. Scripts update protos. What does that thing even do? 3js.proto, frame server, and rendered proto. Seems like that would happen. Let me... Here's 3js.proto. Oh, and this isn't updated. Huh. What did I do over here? Oh, I didn't add it to the service. Extrude geometry request, extrude geometry response. So here... geometry response. Okay. Then I'll copy that back to Python. Rebuild the scripts. Try this again. And does not implement the method geometry service slash extrude geometry. Oh, I have to rerun this. Okay, so this is the extrude geometry from the... Where is the light? I think this is so big that the light is inside of it. Which I knew this was a big... Okay, this thing's like too big. But anyway, I think it's working. This is going to have to be like 12 away. There. Okay. So let's, first of all, let's turn down the size. Wait, this isn't it. Is it? Okay, 12 and 8 is way too big. Let's cut that in half. Cut that in half. I was expecting that to live update for some reason. It's still enormous. Wait, did it get it? Oh, I have to rerun it. This isn't hot reloading. Okay, that's a little smaller. And it's still too big, I think. Although this is kind of beside the point. Oh, it's the depth that's so big. Cut that in half too. Because what I really want to do is to do that with a letter. And to do it with a letter, you're gonna have to pass over quadratic Bezier curves. And I have to add some config to this so that I can pass that to 3JS. So I actually don't even know the font for that M. I think this should be the points. Nope. This is for math tech. Okay, so that prints the points. Hold on, I want to see what this M even looks like. Actually, no, I don't. I don't care. Just kidding, I do care. Because I want to see if it works, if it matches when I pass it to Manim or to JavaScript. Oh, there we go. Easy, so hopefully let's do like points or something. Zero and 0. Data points. Now this will definitely not work. Guaranteed. No points field. So I think what I have to do is in this request, I guess I can only pass individual floats. Okay, so I guess I can do that. Which means this I'll have to do dot ravel, I think. Let's see. Okay. I'll do that dot ravel. Pass that there. Then in the Python side, then the call, I'll just print. Call dot request dot points. Let's see if I can read them in JavaScript. I'm going to copy this the other way. I think. Because just updated this 3js.proto. Okay, copy this into here. Run this again. Rebuild it in Python. Try running this. Didn't crash. Okay, and then in JavaScript it got printed. So now what I have to do is trace out all those points in JavaScript. With that thing, Bezier curve 2. Although Bezier curve, does that mean quadratic Bezier curve or cubic? Hold on. Shape. Bezier curve 2. I love how it just says Bezier and then stops there. Okay, here's quadratic curve 2. Control point, then XY. And this has 2 control points. So it must be quadratic curve 2. So first I want to split this into groups of 3, right? I wish I knew JavaScript. How do you... There's gotta be an easy way. Isn't there just an r.split or something like that? Guess not. Maybe I do have to do this. IJ array.slice I plus chunk. Okay. Although I don't really have to do that. I'll just do it. It'll make it easier. ij temporary chunk equals, this will have to be 3. I equals 0, j equals array dot length, I less than a, I plus equals chunk. Temporary. Plus equals this slice. Array dot splice. Oh. Change the contents of the array by removing or replacing existing elements. Replaces one element at index 4. Start delete count. Looks like this is for removing them mostly. Removing or replacing them. Yeah, like that. But I'll just do this. Temporary equals. Okay, so I don't have to create a temporary array. I can initialize the shape here. I guess move to the first one. Hold on, let me just print. Print temporary. So I can make sure this is doing what I think it's doing. I think I have to rerun this. And something crashed. Oh, I didn't run it. Array is not defined. Yeah, this should be points. Let points. Okay, run this. Let's stop printing them in Python. We're already past that. Okay, and this is printing them in groups of 3, so that's great. What I want to do is, if I is 0, then move to temporary at 0, temporary at 1. Yeah, then I gotta do else. I wonder how this handles holes. It'll probably do something wrong. That's my guess. I think you have to pass holes to the shape manually. Yeah, I have to pass in the holes manually. So who knows what this is gonna do, but I'll do... Oh wait. This still might not be enough. I split it into 3, then I want to split those into 3 too. Since each curve is 3 points and each point is 3 coordinates. So maybe I want 9 here? Oh my gosh. Gotta print it again. Okay, so now it's 9 points. And the last is the same one as the first, which is carried over from Manim. So now, what do I want to do? If I equals 0, then I have to do this move to. To 0, 1. And then I still have to do quadratic curve 2. Then I need the control point and then the end point. So the control point is man, the way this is formatted is really annoying. It's like E0, 0, E0, 1, E0, 2. This is 1, this is 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. And these Z coordinates are just not used at all. So I move to the start. Then this will be 3, 4. Skip the Z coordinate, so no 5. Then 6, 7. Skip the 8. So that should do it, I guess. Oh, you meant slice. Well, too late now. Maybe I'll go back and do it with slice. I don't think this is gonna work because it's not taking account for holes. But I'll just see what this does before I try to get into it anymore. Okay. That didn't totally crap out. Oh, that's the Manim object inside of it. But there's an M here. You can tell it's like not closing the holes right. Okay, so first thing, the bevel sizes are way too big. Make this like a half. I don't know what all of these are. Okay, bevel size. That's how much it extends like outwards. That can be really small. Bevel offset. Not totally sure what that means. Is it making it... Is it like growing the shape? Bevel segments should be large, I think. Bevel thickness can be relatively small. Really, I should just pass all that stuff from Python. Okay, well... That's an interesting effect. This is slowly moving toward what it's supposed to be. Why is it so long? Okay, one more. Is that the depth? Steps. No, that doesn't matter. It must be the depth. So I bring that to 0.1. It's like shrinking it. Oh, you know what it probably is? It's probably because this shape is so small. So let me scale this by like 4 or something. That looks slightly more reasonable. I need to cut out the holes. Make that a 5. I really need to be able to do this in a way that I can live update it, so I can update things quickly. Which I don't think that'd be a ton of work, but I'm not gonna do it right now. So I'm gonna raid someone and figure that out next time. Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Okay, let's see who's here. Oh, hey, this guy. This is the person who wrote my Linux. Oh, not Linux. The Vim version I use. He isn't going for a while, though. I'll do it. I'm just gonna do it. Whatever. This guy writes Lunar Vim. It's the Vim distro, quote unquote, I'm using.
Off topic, does it matter much which university you go for?
And I'm gonna earn some brownie points with him. So
I wouldn't get a master's degree. I dropped out of my master's degree. I would start a YouTube channel if I were you and do something interesting on it. Just
okay, say hi.
Problems.
Although he's on YouTube, so I might not see.
When you search for something, it doesn't highlight the match terms, even though leader H would be used afterwards to close highlights. Though leader H would... Yeah, I think that's config. I kind of actually wanted to do the highlight. I don't know why it doesn't do the highlights. Yeah, I think that's config. I kind of actually wanted to do the highlight. I don't know why it doesn't do that. That's pretty funny. Who's rating me with 3 people? I don't know who that is. Pretty funny. Hey, what's up, dude? Let's see. So is that a config? I think it is a config somewhere. So let's go and continue with this. Visual is alt BG. His visual is VS Code selection, which is that. And VS Code selection in my case is that. But 264. Okay, so we'll do visual, and we'll make that. I feel like we have this backwards. Because when I do this, no, that's right. Visual, and we'll just do UI blue. I use Lunar Vim. Oh yeah, cool. Awesome, we brought these bots too. I'm glad you use Lunar Vim though. That's awesome, man. I'm happy people are actually getting use out of it, you know? Let me know if you find that, because I actually want it to behave the way you want it to behave, and I want that in core Lunar Vim. So if you could actually even put a PR out too. But if not, if you could just tell me what it is, I'll fix it during the stream. Okay, that's fine. Do that. I don't care about that stuff. P menu sidebar. Oh yeah, do we have the sidebar working good? Sidebar is a little in your face. Alt BG. White. I think I'd rather have gray. Even the P menu, this white is too much. Maybe light gray would be better. I think that would be better because that's just too much in my face. The white is very white. Okay, I don't really care too much about this stuff. Search. Oh yeah, search was the thing. Okay, search works pretty good. He's talking about that doesn't stay there, and I don't like that either. More message. Let's change this to orange. Question. Sure, whatever. I don't care. Let's make that orange as well. Variables. Alright, so now here's where things get somewhat.
Brothers, and they were both low functioning autists. I don't know if it's a real word. But like these people, like her mom couldn't be in the same room as them without like a big person nearby, because once her little brothers got older,